You don't need that to make music.
You don't need a shit ton of gear.
Every pro producer sits in a studio full of gear and tells you gear doesn't matter. I agree that tools can't outperform an experienced expert. There's no shortcut to skill, no pay to win for music production. But if that's true, why do they own all of it? When I first started out, I bought myself the model cycles. I was very into glitchy, breaky stuff and had seen people on YouTube create these type of sounds on this machine. I got it, dove into the manual, and was very happy with how the machine sounds. And then I sold it. Instead, I got the LXR02. This is a really great sounding beast that can make really sick beats. And I sold it again. If you have spent any amount of time acquiring music gear, you probably recognize this consumer trap we've been subjected to.
Are those dog days of summer getting you down? Just visit the Lentine showroom for a variety of new and used instruments.
You get a piece of gear, and after some time, you get bored with it. The real reason I did not connect with these pieces of gear was not their sound, but their workflow. I realized that the sound I was chasing was there, but I just really hated playing them. At heart, I'm a live performer, and I work from jamming. I need to play and experiment until I get into a state of flow. From there on, I record and chop the best parts out of a jam, making it into a track. And during the live performance especially, the godforsaken UI design of the LXR02 caused me a lot of issues. So if workflow is the issue, not sound, then how do I change my setup to fit my workflow? Why gear matters is because whether you are using a DAW or external gear, it shapes how you work. Think of it like building a factory. You're not just the owner, you're in there. Hands on every machine, running the floor yourself. Raw material goes in on one end and a finished product comes out the other. The raw materials are your musical ideas. The factory is your gear and your process, and the product is what you actually make. Now there are two ways of building this factory. You can start with the outcome, decide exactly what you want to come out the other end, and design every machine around hitting that target. Or you can build a factory around how you like to work and let the outcome be a byproduct of that.
Preparing stuff and then just like see what happens then.
Here's the thing though, you're the one operating these machines every day. If you build a factory full of machines you fight with, that fight shows up in the product. Frustration in, frustration out. And when that happens, the instinct is always the same. Swap a machine, get new gear, fix the factory floor. But if you build a factory that's actually fun to work in, one that fits how your mind moves, the product carries that instead. It comes out the other end, stamped with the same fun, freedom, and love you worked it with. And if the workflow already feels right, but what comes out still doesn't feel like you, that's usually not a factory problem. That's a raw material problem. Different ideas in, not a different machine. The model cycles and LXR gave me the result I wanted, but were the wrong machines in my factory for how I like to work. Buying somebody else's setup is like buying their blueprint. They get great results because they are professionals, working in a factory perfectly fit for their way of working. So next time you sit down to make something, don't start with, what do I want to make? But start with, when am I actually having fun making things? What gets me into the right headspace? And does what come out actually reflect that? Try to build a factory that matches your ideal way of working. Look at what comes out, but don't judge it against what you expected it to be. Refine the workflow until you like the output, not until it matches what you wanted.
In the end, I told myself, okay, I need to figure out what is my workflow on the computer and try to find a machine that can reproduce or enhance this workflow.
So gear does matter, because it shapes the factory. And the more the factory lets you work in a pure, free state, the better the work that comes out. The point of the factory is not to make an end result. The point is to create the shortest possible connection between your mind and the medium. To get pen on paper the quickest. The more abstractions and hurdles between you and the medium, the more diluted what you make becomes.